Well, football gave former New England Patriots player Aaron Hernandez life, but did it also lead to his death? Hernandez was convicted of murder in 2015. He later died by suicide in a Massachusetts prison. Best-selling author James Patterson calls this the most troubling crime story of our time. The 48 Hours contributor takes on the true crime case in his new book, All-American Murder. It raises the question of whether a degenerative brain disease linked to football could have caused Hernandez's violent behavior.
When I write a book, I imagine a person sitting across from me, one person. I'm telling them a story, and I don't want them to get up until I finish.
That's where the body was found, right there, by the way.
I did take a pulse, and the body was cold. There were 45 rounds around the body, no gun.
In the man's wallet, they found an ID, Odin Lloyd, 27 years old. He played for a semi-pro team, the Boston Bandits. You get a call from the police.
He says, "I'm sorry, Mom, but your son was shot and killed."
You found a set of car keys.
Enterprise rent-a-car.
And we learned that the car was rented to Aaron Hernandez.
Right.
Both of us are football fans. Pretty much everybody out there is a Patriot fan. It can't possibly be that Aaron Hernandez.
Odin Lloyd got to know Aaron because they were dating sisters. And apparently they hit it off.
But I knew that, he was hanging out with Mr. Hernandez.
Watching Aaron Hernandez on the football field was magical.
I'm not sure you'll ever see another guy that can do what he can do.
He signs a $40 million contract with the Patriots. He's got it made.
This is probably one of the best days of my life.
Off the field, Aaron was just charismatic. If you see Aaron, he's always laughing or cracking a joke.
To me, a great guy, the love of my life, the father of my child.
He had a secret life.
His father passing away was one of the most important and damaging moments of his life because it was when he went the other way.
Hernandez was definitely capable of shooting his friends.
Aaron Hernandez was pulled out of his home in handcuffs this morning, charged with murder.
This has got to be a mistake.
Like involved with a murder, I could see that. I know he fooled a lot of people into thinking he was a great guy. Me, I'm one of them.
Guilty of murder in the first degree.
I was devastated, completely devastated. My whole world changed. He's all I know.
You hear stories about the fall from grace, and this might be one of the most tragic of all time.
This is where the clock ran out for Aaron Hernandez. He killed himself in a cell just yards from here in this Massachusetts prison.
He wasn't an evil man. No, he wasn't. He was a sick man, and what made him sick was football.
Football author and 48 Hours contributor James Patterson joins us now on the set to talk about this. I am so happy that you chose to explore this because I think, as this story was unfolding, it became like an onion. We had this idea that this guy was this thug, and then you heard about the secret life and perhaps a relationship in jail, and then you wondered, well, who was he really? And then after it was all sort of put to bed, in a way, we find out about CTE.
Yeah.
And suddenly you have a completely different image of him.
Yeah,
and the CTE was really bad.
Yeah.
But I know because
is there a question in
yeah,
there
the
somewhere?
question is, what did they find out about the nature of his brain? Because I know that they studied it.
Well, they did find out that at his age, he had the amount of damage they'd never seen in anybody under 45. So there was a lot of damage already. And I think they're going to find, there was just a study came out today.
Yeah.
Where they're finding it with teenagers
who
have had no apparent concussions.
Right.
So this is going to get worse. They're going to find out a lot more, and they're going to find out that it relates to the way soldiers are trained and hockey and a lot of other sports. So, and then we're going to figure out what to do about that. But CTA was a part of the story. I mean, look, I hate it when people oversimplify. If you take a guy who has some psychopathic tendencies, which he clearly did, most people have CTE. I'm not aware of any of them who've become murderers. Okay, so there was something wrong with this guy, seemingly. Then hit him in the head several thousand times.
Right.
Football, etc. Add PCP, coke, a lot of weed, a lot of drugs, and you got a nightmare. And that's what happened. It was a nightmare.
So here's what I find fascinating is that Aaron Hernandez lived his life in the public eye, and we thought, as Anne-Marie said, that we knew as much as we possibly could about a celebrity athlete. But what did you uncover? What was the most fascinating thing you unearthed in doing this story?
I think part of it is the complexity. One of the things people are going to see with 48 Hours is how the gifts this guy has. This guy, he's stunningly handsome. He's got a great smile, great sense of humor, loved by his teammates, especially at University of Florida. $40 million contract.
Considered one of the greatest at that time. He was on his path to be.
Great football player. Urban Meyer said he's the best football player ever had there. And Urban Meyer's had a lot of good football players. He's got this McMansion. He's got a beautiful fiancée, well-spoken, who clearly loved him no matter what he did. And a little baby. Puff of smoke. Gone.
So you're a fiction guy. Excellent fiction.
Somewhat. I've done a little.
You've written a couple things.
Yeah.
So you must have approached this differently, or perhaps not. Perhaps some of the things you've learned from being a successful fiction writer.
The story appealed to me for a lot of reasons. One, as I said on the piece, it is to me the most dramatic and extraordinary and surprising murder story in the last 25 years, including O.J.
Why did you want to do this?
Including O.J. That's what I think is fascinating. I don't think
O.J. was that complicated. What made that interesting, if O.J. had committed those murders in Buffalo, where he played football, I don't think it would have been nearly as. I think it happening in L.A., Hollywood.
Pretty people.
Pretty people, and obviously the trial. Well, in the trial, if it had happened in they wouldn't have had the dream team.
The trial and the Bronco
Buffalo.
chase, for sure, right?
Yeah,
the Bronco chase was also, right?
Yeah, and it was O.J.
Right.
But here's Aaron, who wasn't as big as O.J., maybe, comparably good football player.
Right.
So that part of the story really got me in. My family moved to Massachusetts when I was a teenager, so I was a Patriots fan. So that's a piece of it.
Yeah, for sure.
And just his fall from grace, just all the gifts the guy had. It's extraordinary story. And this thing, 48 Hours that people are going to watch.
We're watching.
Yeah.
No, but
and reading. I'm dying to read the book.
Yeah, well, that's right. It's Saturday, the 48 Hours, Monday, the book.
Yeah.
But people are going to be riveted to the screen because they're just going to feel how impressive this guy was, and what a shame it is.
I think that's ultimately it's
for everybody.
It's for everybody, right?
Yeah, people have got families of people.
Wasted life.
Ursula Ward, Odin Lloyd's mother. I mean, just unbelievably wonderful lady. Lives destroyed in that family. Hernandez's family, tragic. I mean, the fiance, terrible thing to have to live with.
This is so interesting, and we're so happy you came by to talk to us about it. James Patterson, it's so great to meet you. Thank you very much.
I had no choice. I had to come back.
We're glad your peeps wrangled you over to us. We're really happy. You can watch James' full report, All-American Murder, on a special 48 Hours broadcast tomorrow night at 10, 9 Central. It's part of a double feature beginning at 9, 8 Central, only on CBS, and the book will be out on Monday.
Yeah. Thank you.